Well, hello again, and welcome to the Road to Success podcast. My name is Aaron Peterson, and this is Landstar's podcast dedicated to small business owners in the freight industry. This is yet another in our series covering the pandemic pivot, where I talk to Landstar business owners, which consists of independent agents and owner-operators or business capacity owners, we call them BCOs, who are navigating shifts in the business environment alongside their customers' changing businesses. Like the other episodes, I'm going to jump right to it. So when it came to navigating business in 2020, independent Landstar Owner-Operator Gene Antinori and team driver Andy Perry changed directions. You see, instead of hauling AA&E hazmat loads, the team started pulling goods for grocery stores across America. Gene says a shift in freight, coupled with some mouthwatering customer service, has kept their business moving in the right direction throughout the uncertainties of the year. This is another great interview. I hope you guys really enjoy it. Let's get straight to it. Here's my conversation with independent Landstar Owner-Operator Gene Antinori.
Hey,
Eugene.
Morning, Aaron. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Where you at?
Bangor, Maine.
Gene, how did you get into trucking?
I put in 6 years with the military, and I started driving while I was in the military. And once I got out of the Army, it was sort of a simple transition. Just continued to drive, except in a commercial capacity. I like to travel, and I like to deal with people, new people. So it just sort of was a natural thing to do.
In terms of 2020 and the year it's been, how have you managed your business differently?
We've managed to connect more personally with the local agents around our home. We're based out of the state of Michigan. And instead of traveling throughout the country, which, of course, with things the way they are, everybody was being told to stay home and stay safe, we actually started getting loads that were out and back, turnarounds. So when we had to spend downtime, instead of spending it somewhere else, we were spending it at home. So we reached out to the local agents, and we gained a personal relationship with them. We actually took a bad situation and improved upon it so that we could have a closer relationship, and the agents now call us as much as we reach out to call them for loads and for assistance with customers.
Now, I was told that you made one move, quote unquote, move to your business. Is that the move you made? You just became more personal?
Well, the beginning of all the confusion, we actually we changed our direction. And instead of hauling common freight or hazardous materials, we actually went and hauled for Kroger Foods. At the time, people needed personal supplies, so we were working for the warehouses of Kroger out of Virginia and delivering food products and personal hygiene supplies to the small towns and cities in the Midwest, the supplies that people needed at the time. Not only was it a good change in the business with a steady paycheck, but also it was in support of the people who really needed the help.
Well, I know I appreciate it, and I know my family appreciates it. I know a lot of our families appreciate that. So thank you for doing that, especially during this year.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about the personal relationship. You talked about how you had to get more personal. Tell me about what you had to do differently in terms of nurturing, networking, whatever you had to do to build those personal relationships.
We found out that, many of the agents and customers were working out of the house as so many other companies have adapted the program of working from home. So we have a policy of reaching out each week and calling certain agents that we use in a regular basis, and actually in return, they use us to continue to have a steady flow of freight weekly. We have something we call a "Hey you, how you doing?" call. Every so often, we'll find an agent that we haven't heard from in a while, and we'll call up and say, "Hey you, how you doing?" what you've been up to. We haven't heard from you in a while. We're in Maine. We're in Florida. We're in Las Vegas. And just wanted to give you a heads up and let you know that we're going to be around. And if you got anything that you need us to do, we're available for you. Have a good day. Also, one of the things that we do is we'll take on a load that we're not exactly popular with, but the rate might be low, or it's not necessarily going in the direction that we want to, but we will help out an agent that puts out an alert saying, help, we need help moving these loads. What we have found is karma, which we truly believe in, comes back around, and we will get that call from that agent down the road saying, hey, we remember that you helped us out. Well, we've got this special load that we need you to pull, that we'd like you to pull, and we're going to offer it to you first. And so one hand washes the other, and you're able to keep a personal relationship with these agents. You know them by first name basis. We've even sent pizzas out to agents that have done us a favor by getting us out of a hard place. Like everybody knows, Florida is a hard place to get out of. Also, we've done this to vendors and to like Freightliner shops and tire places that squeeze us in. They might be a week behind in their repairs, but we've got a hot load that's got to go and we need something fixed. And the guy says, I'll tell you what, we'll squeeze you in. And then a week later, they'll be sitting at their desk and Papa John's Pizza will show up and they'll have 2 pizzas saying thank you from Southern Cross Motor Carriers. And they'll remember that. And next time Landstar comes driving in the parking lot with a problem that needs to be solved, they'll be more willing to work to solve that problem for Landstar and for the contractors that are associated with Landstar.
I found pizza solved most of life's problems, honestly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's a small price to pay. We're actually, some of the agents we call, they'll say, we've been waiting for your pizza. And it's great. It's sort of an ongoing business relationship joke that we deal with. Hey, it's the pizza company. Yeah, we deliver hazmat, we deliver ammunition, and we deliver pizza. So
you need to figure out how to make that pizza into a star when you send it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't give away my trade secrets. I'm working on it.
So you've talked about networking and whatnot, but what kind of support or technology do you use for your business? Are you doing anything different in terms of technology, or what are you utilizing?
Well, a lot of the policies that will rescue someone in these times are also the policies and of good business in general. We were lucky because I've been doing this for over 30 years. Andy's a rookie at 28 years. We have learned through trial and error that upgrading electronics, the simple communications that we discussed before, but also at the same time, IT is the most important thing you can have. There's nothing more frustrating than having an older communication system, a cheaper, older cell phone, we with AA&E have to use upgraded Qualcomms. They come out almost every year, which is like $4,000 or $5,000, a hit. But when you're in competition with other customers and other contractors, other carriers, you have to be the first one in line to make that call. As soon as it comes over, you got to be able to respond to it. So we found one of the most important things is to spend the money that you need to keep your IT, your phones, your computers, things like that up to date. It's an annual, semi-annual thing so that you can keep in contact. Plus, of course, we take advantage of every opportunity we have through the support of Landstar. Landstar, especially with hazardous materials and things like that can really get you in a bad situation if you don't pay attention to the details. Landstar has been there for us many times through AA&E and, of course, Hazmat.
I'm glad you bring up the semi-annual updating of computers, because not enough people talk about that. It's a very important aspect to making sure you're current on technology, is your equipment as well as the applications need to be up to date.
Absolutely. You will flounder. When we first started out, we started out with a $25,000 used truck with over 1 million miles on it and 2 cell phones. These cell phones, we didn't realize they worked just fine for the internet. But as far as responding to load alerts, they weren't getting the load alerts till 15 or 20 minutes after they were posted. And by the time we were calling back again, all those loads are gone. We really suffered until we got smart and started buying the finer, of course, more expensive, but better, faster services. And it's benefited our business and company. We've made our money back tenfold. So money makes money.
That's great advice. Money makes money. What have you done differently to support your customers during these times, other than what you've already talked about? Have you done anything differently besides pizza and personal relationships?
Yeah. We've found that a lot of our quote-unquote regular customers and our regular agents, everybody is suffering in one way or another. So these customers that had closed, the small manufacturing companies that have closed, that we offered our personal services to, above and beyond the regular trucking company services, our personal calls and things like that. We run as a team. We have a higher minimum cost of operation for the truck and both our payments, and we run 2 separate households. But we have actually lowered our base rate so that these small businesses that are back up in service but can't afford to pay their full rate as they used to, and also which affects the agents and Landstar ultimately, we've lowered our rates to pull some of their loads when they request a special load. So we use their lower rate loads as a connector load. We will call an agent, like I said, Indianapolis is just basically a hop, skip, and jump from home. And we'll call up these several agents that we deal with that when we're trying to get to the Indianapolis area and say, how's XYZ company doing? They got any of their auto parts racks, which automotive, everybody that pulls automotive knows that, they got hit really hard. And they'll say, well, we've got an empty rack, but it's only paying $1.95 a mile, which normally our minimum rate is $2.50 because it is a team operation and it is AA&E and we have special equipment we have to maintain. But we will use that load. This is a subject that's come up many times on the forums, Landstar forums, of using a cheaper paying load to cover expenses to get to your better paying loads, especially with AA&E. We've bounced from Miami, Florida to Wisconsin before in order to cover a AA&E load because we promised an agent that when that load came up, we would be there to pull it. And unfortunately, when they didn't know when it was going to be ready, we grabbed a load going to Miami and then got a call the morning that we were unloading in Miami that this load will be ready in 2 days. So we grab a load that's paying $1.50 coming out of Florida so we can bounce up and be able to service that customer. Ultimately, it was an AA&E load for the government. It paid, but that's that karma thing I was talking about. You turn around and do what you feel is right, and eventually it comes back around to you. Take it for what it's worth. That's the way we deal with it. A lot of people just crunch numbers and look at screens of the stock market and things like that. We basically run our business on doing the right thing, honesty, and upfront information, whether they like to hear what we've got to say or not. We'll say, I'm sorry, but, we just can't do that, or we're not going to be able to handle that till next week. and they'll be like, "Oh, we really need this moved," and I says, but when we do call them up and say we're looking for a load, they'll know if we say we can haul it, we will be there to service whatever they need to be done.
Integrity matters. Integrity matters.
Absolutely. Customer service is what it's all about. It really is.
You're out there on the front lines. You're doing this every single day. Do you see business continuing to change in the near future? And if you do, what's your plan for handling that or addressing it as it happens?
It brings us back to the technology. More of the businesses are going to be run from home. They're going to be run via the internet. Agents and loads and brokerage is done a lot that way now, but it's going to continue to increase where I think probably 75-80% of all the brokerage and control of manufacturing and shipping and purchasing is all going to be done from a home environment. It's not necessary to have 50 people in the boiler room making cold calls. A person that's in Japan or China or Mexico can be sitting right next to you in your living room. There's no reason to have, 25, 30 people sitting in an office somewhere. I really believe that technology is going to be the leader in who's going to have the most success in overcoming any kind of obstacles that are available now that are forming a barrier for the businesses to grow now.
All right, last question. This is the important one. What business advice do you have for independent owner-operators when the business environment is this uncertain?
This has been a tough one. We feel that in order to be a success in the business, no matter what, it takes 90% of your lifetime. You have your vehicle, you have your business, you have your family to deal with. Everybody's involved in building that company, and in return, it gives back. So it's really important to be able to work in a environment that you enjoy. We, for example, do the hazmat, AA&E. We deal with large corporations. I've done that most of my life as far as dealing with, i.e., it is important to develop your own niche, something that you enjoy working in. If you're a flatbedder, stick to flatbedding. If you're a heavy haul, stick to heavy haul. If you like to pull a reefer, there are great opportunities that a lot of drivers don't realize, pulling temperature controlled pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, things like that. So you have to develop your own business plan in order to follow through. Because if you're doing something that you don't enjoy, it's misery. You're swimming upstream, you're being bashed on the rocks. Sooner or later, you're just going to walk away from it. I couldn't think about anything else that I'd ever want to do. Like I said, I've been doing it since 1984. I've gone all the directions, and this is what we've developed, and this is what we've been doing with Landstar for 5 years, and we'd never consider going anywhere else.
Well, thanks so much for that, Gene. I'm going to let you get back to dropping pizzas off randomly at customers.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Gene. And I don't know about you guys, but I am hungry. On the next episode of this Road to Success podcast miniseries, we will hear from Landstar agent Mary Tracy, who opened her independent agency at the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, but found with Landstar, she was ready to support her customers' needs.
You just need to pay attention to your customers' needs. As their needs change, they may not know that you have the ability to help them with whatever else is going on. And you need to be aware of it, be as fluid as they are, and just make sure that they know, based on your relationship, that they can call you for anything.
Don't miss that one. Come back. And thank you once again for listening to The Road to Success. And be sure to keep reading our Road to Success magazine. More episodes of this will be coming your way, so be sure you hit subscribe so you're the first to get the next episode. As well as you can find Landstar's social media pages and share this episode with your friends. Just use the show's hashtag Road to Success and tell us where in the country you're listening from. And if you have an interesting story to share, please let us know. Road to Success at Landstar.com. That's Road to Success at Landstar.com. I am out of here until our next episode. I am still hungry. So I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to go grab a pizza. And remember, as you travel down the country's highways, be safe, be successful. Take care.